walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. And we have got plenty to talk about. But before we start, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Yes, I have shaved my head. B, have you seen the weather out there? Far too hot to have hair. I shaved my beard off, which I don't like doing because it's easier to grow a beard than lose weight. So, you know. But less about that. But my God, my head does feel cooler now, which is, you know, an added bonus in life, especially when the weather is going to be this hot. Big up to Mustafa, though. Big up to RJ. Big up to both of you. But boy, we got a lot to talk about. We really do have a lot to talk about. So, might as well get straight into it. We're going to be talking Pedro Neto. Some clubs are chasing him this summer. A couple of British clubs, or English clubs, shall I say. And I think two of them it would suit very well at. They're both of them that are English. We're also going to be talking about Declan Rice. There has been some weird shit written by Samuel Luckhurst about Declan Rice and the interest from Manchester United. Complete garbage. Samuel really has no idea what he's talking about, to be brutally honest with you. We're also talking Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal have had 2 bids rejected for Aaron Ramsdale. We'll get into it. It's a player I do rate highly. We're also talking Rafael Varane, who will not ask to leave Real Madrid this summer. Basically, he won't leave. He's happy to go, but he won't ask to leave. He's going to be respectful to Real Madrid. And last but not least, a new era starting badly for Everton and Rafa Benitez. It is obviously a very sensitive subject that we are going to approach very cautiously. This one won't be about, you know, joking or any of that crap. Won't be doing any joking. We're going to look at what is going on at Everton, but we're going to be extremely mindful of what's going on. Hello, Dr. Egghead. Mate, have you seen the weather outside? I'd rather be an egghead than, you know, like have to deal with the heat. Sorry, rather would. Also, eggheads are quite smart, so I'll take that as a compliment. Big up Charlie in the chat as well. Not a problem. But no, with the heat out there, I couldn't deal with having a head full of hair. Couldn't deal with it. But let's get straight into it. Let's talk Pedro Neto. Let's start with Pedro Neto. Wolves are contemplating whether to sell star forward Pedro Neto, with the top clubs all over Europe asking about his availability. 90 minutes can reveal the Wolves have been inundated with interest from Liverpool, Juventus, Spurs, are the clubs who have made inquiries. Wolves owners are open to letting any of the star men leave, though they would not consider selling Neto unless a huge offer came in. Straight away, Wolves out Liverpool. Neto has had a hand in recent loan signing Francisco Trincao from Barcelona, recommending him to make a switch to Molineux. The duo are good friends, and those close to Neto do not believe he will depart this summer because of the role in recruiting Trincao. So, quite a bit to get into there. I have you. You look like my brother now. Lovely. Love to see it. But Pedro Neto, a really good deal if someone can get it done. It's going to cost you money, though. Pedro Neto is very much one of those up-and-coming young talents within the Premier League right now. And he is a real talent. Don't get it wrong. He is a real talent who I think is going to go from strength to strength to strength. I rate him as highly as I rate Harvey Barnes, as much as I rate maybe even Jadon Sancho. I mean, look, to be fair, if United couldn't get Sancho, I mean, Pedro Neto would have been the perfect fit. Neto is someone who will run at defenders, fantastic ball control, will get you so many free kicks and fouls in and around the area because of sort of his low sense of gravity. He's very, very agile, and he'll ride a challenge. He will ride challenges all day long. He'll do it for fun. But he will also provide you with those clinical assists that you need. Now, you look at the two clubs that are into him. Neto plays on the right, I think, or the left, one or two. Liverpool could free up a space with Mane. I mean, it depends on what Mane turns up, really. Liverpool could do a deal, but I think that straight away, and the reason I would rule Liverpool right out straight away, they would not considering selling Neto unless a huge offer comes in. When are Liverpool going to put a huge offer in for a player? They're just not. They just won't do that. Now, Tottenham, on the other hand, they may do that. Right? They are in deep shit right now. New manager, obviously, with Nuno, who has previously worked with Pedro. So could a link up with Nuno and Pedro be back on the cards? I think it absolutely could be. The promise Nuno has made to the Tottenham fans is he wants to play the attacking football. He wants to be attacking. He wants to bring back the so-called sort of moles of the club, the ethos. And Neto, I think, would fit in very well there. I think in terms of bringing that ethos, bringing that attack. And it adds a very considerable bow to Tottenham's already lethal attack. I mean, if they could just sort out their defence, Tottenham would have a very good squad. They can keep Harry Kane, and I think you'll have more chance of keeping Harry Kane if you get someone like Pedro Neto in. Because Kane will look at the left and see Son. He'll look at the right and see Neto, or whichever way they want to do it. Right? Go to a 4-3-3. Right? You could do that easily with a midfield pivot of what? Højbjerg and Skip may not be a bad shout. With Ndombele operating that sort of cam role. Maybe Dele Alli might get a fresh chance for Nuno as well. Where it fits Doherty in, I couldn't tell you, because Doherty really doesn't do well in the back four. Could you retrain him into a right back? Maybe. I'm sure you could look at that, or get another one in. Now, Serge Aurier is simply just not good enough, is he? So there's a lot to this that I think would attract Tottenham to Neto. I think Tottenham are a much bigger club than Wolves, and that's no disrespect to Wolves. That's just being completely honest. So you look at Neto, what can he bring to Tottenham? He'll bring so many more different options for that attack. Really helps Kane, would help Son. And if injuries were to happen, Tottenham are a bit more covered. So I do see Tottenham maybe looking at it. But again, will Tottenham put in a huge offer? I don't know. I mean, they need to sell some more players, don't they? So it will be very interesting. Obviously, with him bringing in Trincao from Barcelona to Wolves for the season on loan, maybe that will stop him going this summer. But also, obviously, he was injured, so I don't know how he would get past the medical. But I'm guessing if it's just an impact injury or whatever injury it was, maybe a club can look past that. I mean, I doubt the insurance companies that these clubs go for would be too impressed with you doing that. But, that is always a possibility. So we'll see about this. This is definitely one to keep your eyes on. I think it's far too soon to suggest where he's going to be. But Liverpool, if they acted or wanted to act like a big club, i.e. keep your captain and bringing in Pedro Neto, would do wonders for Liverpool. Look at what impact Jota had at Liverpool. Maybe it could be that you bring in Neto and move Salah up to the top. Maybe move Salah closer to goal. He's such a lethal striker of the ball. I'm sure he could play striker quite easily. So there are options for both clubs. the money, the transfer fee is going to be the biggest sticking point. Wolves are going to want big money. Of course they would. Neto is one of their stars. Obviously, Wolves are going to want big money for that. So we'll have to wait and see if any club does really stump up the cash for Neto. But one that I'm really excited to see if he does make a jump up to a bigger club, because I do think he'll offer you a lot, even though he is injured right now. Jay says, "Oh well, not a new look for now, a cooler look for now. My head is a lot colder. It's lovely." Nuno wants to keep Kane. Well, yeah, Nuno. Of course, Nuno's going to want to keep Kane. No one's going to want to lose Kane, right? No one, right? It's about keeping Kane happy. You've got to somehow keep Kane happy, and how do you do that? Well, you reinforce the squad. You bring in better players for him to play with. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Do you buzz it yourself? Yes, I am paying £10 for someone to shave my head. I can do it myself. Big up now, fresh trim. I would have took Neto if he wasn't injured. I think his injury, he's back in October, isn't he? I mean, he could probably get through a medical, providing everything else is okay. I mean, I can't remember what injury he had, but I'm sure he'll get past medical with the other stuff. Obviously, injury or no injury, you obviously wouldn't be able to see him straight away, but you know, coming into crunch times of the season, would be very, very keen to have. Tottenham do need a right winger, says Mustafa. That is very true. That has always been the area that they have lacked, is that right wing area. So if we think about it, they've got Son on the left, Kane up top, but they never really solved that right wing. You've seen a lot of Lucas Moura there. I think they tried Ndombele there. None of that really works. So we'll definitely have to wait and see on this one. Pedro Neto, very young as well, has many years left, absolutely. But with Africa Cup of Nations, Neto will be back in October, I think. Yeah. I mean, again, that's starting to come into crunch areas, and Liverpool desperately need a right winger to cover for Salah for 3 games. The African Cup of Nations isn't a biggest deal for Liverpool. It would have been a couple of years ago, but obviously now we have that sort of winter break, don't we? So for Liverpool, it isn't as bad, but you still need some cover. What if Salah gets injured? Then you are fucked. Son, Kane, Neto would be a mad front three. It would, and I think that would entice Kane to stay. If Nuno was to sort of sit in front of Kane and go, "I got you, Neto. You've got Son now. Stay. We can achieve a trophy." If they get centre back, that would be even better for them. So Neto would be a good signing for depth, 100%. Broken kneecap for Neto. Yeah, so of course that's not an ideal one. Ideally, he wouldn't have an injury. Broken kneecap, that's an impact injury, so it's not anything muscular, so you don't need to worry about a recurrence of an injury. Because broken kneecap, you're not going to have recurring injury for a broken kneecap, let's be real. So yeah, an impact injury would get past the medical, I would assume. Obviously, yes, of course, ideally he wouldn't have that injury. But with an impact injury, I mean, you could definitely get past medical, providing the muscles and everything else, the heart and all of that in the medical went well. I think you could get past a broken kneecap. And to be fair, he had that last season, didn't he? He's back in October, so by the time you sign him, we're probably looking at August. So it'd be about 2 months away from it'd be about 2 months away, wouldn't it? Be about 2 months away. Might do it. Might work way through. Bergwijn and Lucas are done out here. Yes. Moira is not too bad. Lucas Moira is not too bad, but I'll have to wait and see. The acquisition of Neto will definitely make it easier for Kane to stay at Spurs. Yeah, 100%. M Webb says you won't get Neto anyway. Well, I certainly won't be getting Neto. I'm a Plymouth Argyle fan. If Simon Elliott somehow miraculously got us Pedro Neto, well, I don't know what he's done apart from rob the bank. So I won't be getting him. But it is conceivable if a big offer comes in and your owners accept it. It is obviously an ability for Neto to leave if your owners are willing to sell and a big offer comes in. So let's say someone stumps up 50 to 60 mil for Neto, 100% he would go. That it would be accepted, you'd assume, unless Wolves were looking for even higher. So yeah, I think there is room to get this deal done. It's not going to be an easy deal, of course not. You're talking about one of the most up and coming young stars of the Premier League. He's an extremely good talent, a talent that every single person adores. He is adored by many, even regardless of if he plays for them or not. So yeah, of course, a deal can be done. It's just like a deal could be done for Pogba or Varane or Sancho or Haaland. Deals can be done, but the deal would need to be supplemented by a lot of money. Money talks in football. People just straight away want to throw it out the door. Deals can be easily done in football, very easily. You just have to have money. If you have money, all is good. All is good. Chris says, I'd love Neto injury or not, 100%. Pereira is now West Ham's #1 target for Cam. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Getting Pereira, yeah, of course, a very good talent. I think if Jesse Lingard was offered to West Ham as a part of a deal to get Declan Rice, because West Ham, let's be real, are going to lose Declan Rice. That is going to. We'll get into Declan Rice in just a second. Before I do that, I'll just finish on Neto. I don't care if there's been any update on Neves to United. I don't think United will make a bid for him until after Varane has been signed. That is very true. Jay, very, very true. Teams have signed players who were currently injured anyway. Yeah. Look, impact injuries are a lot easier to get past the medical with, because to be honest, it's an impact injury. It's a broken kneecap. Providing that his muscles and everything else in his body is working quite well, and he's remaining fit and all of this, and he hasn't got any problems with his heart, all is good. It would have to make upwards of 60 million. I don't think in this current climate teams would pay it. They might not. They absolutely might not. And I'm not saying that they definitely will. I would, if I was Tottenham or Liverpool, I would do anything to maybe cut down the budget on, I might sell Dele Alli, or I might sell Bergwijn, or I might sell Lucas Moura. I would generate funds. If I'm in charge of one of these elite clubs, so let's say I'm in charge. Either I would stump up the cash if I have that myself, or I would look at ways of getting that cash. Because as years go on, let's be fair, Neto's price is only going to increase, right? So right now, you're looking at a lad who is still very raw, a very good talent, but very raw. You add into the fact that he's very young, that will bring his price down a little bit. As he gets older and matures more into the footballer that we all assume he'll be, he's going to cost more. So if I'm in charge of one of these elite clubs, I want Neto now. I'm going to go and find that money however way possible, because I want the player. That's how I would operate. And in this current climate, of course, it's very difficult, but United have just spent 73 million on Jadon Sancho. Money is there. Money is there. You just either have to sell some players or work it around. You need to work a way around. Maybe in installments. Maybe Wolves would accept a payment within installments. These are all things that I'm sure that the people in charge of the elite clubs will be looking at to try and secure Pedro Neto. Ultimately, it's up to how Wolves want to play this. Do they want installments? Do they want it all cash up front? So many variables. But I do believe that if I was an owner, I would definitely be pushing to sign Pedro this summer. Smith Rowe signed for 5 years with Arsenal. Wonder if he'll stay on loan next year. No, I think he'll play a crucial part of their team, but we'll talk about that tonight. No one thought we would pay 45 million for Jota, to be honest, even though it was in installments. Exactly. This is what I mean. Deals can be done. Declan Rice will be a United player soon, says Mustafa. outside football in basketball, Bucks won 2021 NBA for the first time in 50 years. Great achievement for them. I absolutely know nothing about basketball. Nothing. But moving on to basketball, you'd have seen a video of Declan Rice with his boyfriend, I mean best friend, Mason Mount. So, why have I said that someone has lied? Well, let's be real. Samuel Lockhurst has posted something in the Manchester Evening News saying, word is Declan Rice likes Man U more than United like Declan Rice. Right, so let's break this down. Samuel Lockhurst is an idiot. A full-blown idiot for writing this. Fuck knows why he has come to this conclusion. Someone from within the know of Manchester United says, please enlighten us all how you came to this conclusion. Manchester United and Solskjaer loves Declan Rice. Declan Rice is very interested in the project Solskjaer is building at Manchester United too. So, what do we know about Declan Rice and the interest? Well, we know that Manchester United are very interested in Declan Rice. Up the Ebanks Blake. Yes, Slavan Ebanks Blake. Yeah, he was quite good at Argyle. Quite good at Argyle. I didn't like how any of them left, but, you know, that wasn't their fault. But yeah, no, Ebanks Blake that's what I mean. Deals can be done. But yeah, no, he was a good player. I think he did all right at Wolves. But yeah, more about Declan Rice. So what do we know? Well, we know that Declan Rice would be keen on moving to Manchester United. Now, we also know that if Chelsea were to come in for an offer, Declan Rice would absolutely want to go to Chelsea above Manchester United. Now, that is not because he does not like Manchester United, let's be clear. The reason he would pick Declan Rice, would pick Chelsea over Manchester United, is because he played at Chelsea in the in the youth academy. He's best mates with Mason Mount. That is why, and it's still in London. So those are a couple of reasons why I picked Chelsea. Now, if Chelsea don't come in, Declan Rice would move to Manchester United if they want him. So Declan Rice to Manchester United works perfectly because Manchester United are currently looking for a DM, right, after they get Varane. And it has been told that money would not be an issue. They do not need to sell Pogba to bring in a midfielder. That is because of how they've got the structure of the payment plans for Jadon Sancho and how they envisage the payment installments for Raphael Varane. So by doing that, that has enabled extra money to be given to the DM spot. Declan Rice is absolutely one of the players Manchester United are looking at, one of many. They're looking at Declan Rice, they're looking at Eduardo Camavinga, and they are looking at Ruben Neves. Those are the three that are currently being linked. Those are the main ones. You obviously got Saul and that as well. So those are the three that keep popping up. They're the ones that are United are widely linked to. So that is about that. Now, there's a couple of comments here from Lanzi. Rice will be here. I don't think he will. I don't think Chelsea are looking at Declan Rice. And I'll give you good reason. They've got Billy Gilmore out on loan. Now, Billy Gilmore will play that 6. They also are looking at Tchouaméni. I don't know if they'll get Tchouaméni, but I don't think they're looking at Rice. I think the price is putting Chelsea off. Look, I think if they could get Declan Rice for £50 million, they would probably do it, as would a lot of clubs, mind you. So I don't think that will happen. I don't think he'll go to Chelsea. I certainly don't think he'll go City. I think City don't tend to buy an English talent. I mean, if they get Jack Grealish, that'd be the first English talent I can remember that they've really bought. Right? They don't tend to do that. They tend to look abroad. They tend to delve into Europe because, and I'm going to be brutally honest, it is cheaper to go and get a lad from Europe than it is from England. Now, they're not going to get him this season, and neither are Chelsea. I don't think so. If Chelsea are going all out for Haaland, they can't simply afford Declan Rice. So Manchester United have to be smart and they have to act quick. Right? So they have to act very quick. What do? Well, you see that Chelsea aren't interested at this precise moment. You see that Man City are not interested at this precise moment. So what do? Well, you make a jump. You jump ahead of them. You go in with a big bid. 80 million, chuck in Jesse Lingard, or 70 million, chuck in Lingard. West Ham want Lingard. Right? Let's not get that mistaken. West Ham want Jesse Lingard, mainly because they know what he can do in that team already. So Manchester United need to get the jump on Chelsea and Man City. Now, look at game time for Declan Rice. I think game time will be huge at United. He'll be a valuable player, very valuable player. He'll be a key star because there will only DM. So you add all of that up together, and I really do think he'll end up at. I do think he could end up at United. It depends on if United want to do it. Now, I do think they want to. We'll see if they do. I think there's a difference between want and do. Rice would take Chelsea over United. Yeah, of course it is. Of course. Chelsea are reportedly going for Monaco midfielder Tchouaméni as an alternative to Declan Rice. Exactly. And Tchouaméni is going to be much cheaper. Rice will stay this season and go City to replace Fernandinho. I disagree. City will go. City will go abroad. They'll look in Europe. That is how City have always conducted their transfers of recent times. Big up to Dylan. They do not need Rice for Kante. Yeah, I agree. Chelsea don't really need any more midfielders. I agree. Swap deal with Jesse Lingard. I think Jesse Lingard would easily be made as make weight for this deal. Guardiola is a big admirer of Rice. Well, how long is Pep Guardiola there for? Not too long. He is going to leave City in the near future. So is Jurgen Klopp. So you have to, if you're a player, you have to pick the right moves. Now, if United go get Sancho and Varane, and they come up to Declan Rice and go, look, we've got Sancho and Varane. We really need a DM, and we want you. We want you to be an integral part of our squad. And we're going to go get a backup right back. Declan Rice, I feel, would think, I can win stuff for Manu. And you have to think of it as an ego. Sort of, all players have an ego. All players have an ego. Imagine if Declan Rice was a part of the reason why Manchester United, let's say, won their first league title since Fergie, or won a Champions League with Ollie. Like, I'm not saying these things will happen. What I'm saying is these players do have an ego. All players have an ego. Could Declan Rice say, I think, look, for me, if I win United a title, I go down as a United legend. So I do think that. Why do you think Pep will leave lack of trophies? No, I think he'll just get bored. I think with Pep, it's very simple. He has been at City for a very long time. Now, very rarely do managers stay at clubs for a very long time. And I think cycles run out. Now, I think Pep wants to win a Champions League with City. I don't think he'll stay until that happens, because I don't see it happening with Pep. I just don't. Because for me, I see Pep going into international management or just taking a bit of a break. He's already been quoted saying that he wants to retire early. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But it's not because a lack of trophies. I mean, that barbaric. The haircut ain't it now, my guy. Yeah, the haircut is just the haircut is how do I put this? It is when living in the UK in the summer when the heat is this hot, it is mainly a necessity. Also, hair is overrated. Pep might return to Barca. No. I could see him managing the Spain international team though. Maybe in replacement of Luis Enrique. Maybe he could take on the Spanish job. Moyes will beat him up if he throws his toys at a pram. No, he won't. David Moyes ain't like that. David will understand why Declan Rice wants to leave. He's not an idiot. Not an idiot. Klopp will want out before Liverpool need to rebuild, which is about 3 years. He'll leave at the end of his contract at 2024. So Jurgen Klopp has already stated he is not staying past his contract. And he's also given Liverpool well adequate time to go find his replacement. A lot of people talking about Pep Linders and all of this. So Klopp is leaving in 2024. I would assume within that time, Pep will also be leaving City. So who comes in? There are not many elite managers left out there. So it is going to be about who's really got a good squad. And if United still have Ollie by that time, maybe Ollie might be a good enough manager by then. I think Pep will never win the UCL with City. I would agree. It doesn't look likely. It really doesn't look likely at all. Rice will go to United, says Mustafa. Klopp always sticks to his contract. Yeah, that's why I said he's leaving in 2024. He signed a contract till 2024. He's not signed another contract. He doesn't want to. I mean, he's also been given so much shit. Gerrard comes in. By that time, he would have had enough experience. Maybe. See, do you know, with Gerrard, would you not want him to go to like a Newcastle or Brighton, like get Premier League experience? Obviously, I know he's played in the Premier League before anyone goes, oh, he's got that. No, I mean proper Premier League experience, being a manager in the Premier League. Do you not see maybe him going to a Newcastle or Brighton, or if worst case scenario, West Ham, if David Moyes was to leave, or something like that, Wolves, or, you know, would you not want him to gain any sort of Premier League experience? Man U and Chelsea are the place to be with how young they are. Yes, that is, and that will provide a point for Declan Rice's decisions, because Manchester United, look at the players that are under 25. Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Rashford, Wan-Bissaka, Dean Henderson, Luke Shaw's only 25, I think. And then you add him in. Then you've got the likes of Amad Diallo. And then you've got Palestri, Elanga, Shotiri, Hannibal. You look at all of these young players at United. Declan Rice, James Garner. You look at all of these. Declan Rice would look at that and go, they've got quite a good team. They just need a bit more experience. And I think they'll get. Chris says, I want Gerrard to prove it's a Premier League club. Yes, that's what I mean. He could be a Rangers manager in the Champions League as well, more and more experience. That is crucial. I do think that is crucial. I don't think Klopp is too bothered about winning the League Cup or the FA Cup. So he won the two main trophies. Liverpool will want to rebuild his team and win the title again. I would agree with that. Rice will be United's best DM since Park Ji-sung. I do remember Park. He was a great player. Great player. But let's talk Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal remain interested in Sheffield United goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, but have been told to raise their offer to over £32 million. The Gunners have reportedly already had two bids rejected for the 23-year-old. With Matt Ryan leaving to join the club, leaving the club to join Real Sociedad, they are looking to sign someone that can compete with Leno for a number one spot. And whilst Ramsdale is their main target, the Times reporting that the Gunners will have to pay over $32 million for the England international. Johnson, who was also relegated last season with West Brom, was one of Baggy's key performers last season, but now it looks so the North London side have now fully turned their attention to Aaron Ramsdale. Now, before anyone starts and goes, oh, Aaron Ramsdale, how good is he really? He's been relegated. I think Kenny sent me a picture. He's been relegated like 4 times in the last 4 years. If you're going to come to me with that nonsensical bullshit, then please don't. Because Aaron Ramsdale is a very good goalkeeper. The issue that Aaron has always had is he never had a good enough defence in front of him. Bournemouth was not good enough. Sheffield United were not good enough. The other two, they obviously were not good enough. Now look at Aaron directly. Look at Aaron Ramsdale directly as a player. He's very good. A very good player. Very good. He did have a bit of a shaky start at Sheffield United and at Bournemouth. He's also very young. He's 23 years old. He will make mistakes. But I think with a bit of good coaching and a good defence in front of him, he'll do wonders for any club. He really would. I actually see Aaron Ramsdale as England's number one above Dean Henderson. Now, I have very good reasons for this. I think Aaron is a fantastic shot stopper. I also think he can be very composed with the ball at his feet, as can Dean Henderson. I just really rate Aaron Ramsdale. I really do. But we'll have to wait and see on this one. But make no mistake, if Arsenal get Ramsdale, they've got a very good goalkeeper with extremely high potential and someone who could easily push Leno to the bench with ease. Ramsdale was Bournemouth's best player when they were relegated. Bournemouth defence was always shambles. Same with Sheffield United, says Chris. And this is very true. Very true. Ramsdale was the key performer for both the relegated sides, for both Bournemouth and for Sheffield United. He was their key performer. If it weren't for him, they would have got hammered, absolutely hammered, 4, 5, 6, 7-0. He was crucial to both clubs. And it frustrates me, really frustrates me when people slag him off going, oh, he's been relegated twice. Take that unintellectual crap out of here and go, I don't know, play with your Barbie. Because to be brutally honest with you, that logic is nonsensical at best. Zachary says goalkeeper, just distribution, sweep keeper abilities to be elite. Most pro keepers clean sheet save wise are just as good as their team. Yeah, of course they are. But Aaron Ramsdale is also very good with his feet. That I can tell you for. Andy Robertson got relegated with Hull, but won trophies with Liverpool. Gini got relegated with Newcastle, won trophies with Liverpool. Roy Keane had the same journey, getting relegated. Not a problem. Yeah, you see it more and more. So yeah, it's similar to when someone signs someone from a championship. Oh, they can't be very good. They come from a championship. This elitist, knobbish mentality must really fucking stop. Because you're just making yourselves look like dicks. Someone like Ramsdale is very big talent. If you don't rate that, then cool. I'm probably going to call you an idiot. Same with Johnson, West Brom key performer. Ramsdale are good goalkeepers. They very much are. They very much are. But let's talk Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane, a very simple one here. There's quite a bit to it, but Raphael Varane has an agreement in principle at Manchester United until 2026, but he has not officially told Real Madrid he wants to leave. He is leaving his future in the hands of the teams. Varane is not officially communicated his wish to leave out of respect for Florentino Perez, but it is taken for granted that in the Real offices that he will leave. There has been no formal offer yet, and negotiations will not be resolved immediately. That is the quotes that were said. There has been more. These have come from Mario Cortegana, something like that. We'll call him Mario, shall we? This is from Real Madrid Live. Negotiations for Ram will not be resolved immediately or in a matter of hours. Real Madrid are in more of a hurry to sell the player. Of course, the longer this goes on, the cheaper he is. We all know that. That's just basic logic. You get desperate. There is no formal offer at the moment. Manchester United's idea is that the longer it takes to negotiate, the stronger their negotiating position is. Absolutely correct. In risk of that, you do risk pissing off Varane, who's going to have to go back to Real Madrid for training and then go to United. Obviously not ideal. Also, Ollie might be slightly pissed off because Ollie actually might want him in quite soon. Raphael Varane is understood to already be in Manchester United mode. Amid the expectation he will share the same dressing room as Sancho. The deal is progressing and all the noises are positive. That is from Samuel Luckhurst. Now, again, just take of that what you will. But I think it will be done. I just want to say that. I just want to put some things out there about this. We haven't really spoken about Varane a lot, and there's a lot out there, and you know it's best to get it covered. But yeah, at the moment, the way it is, there is no deal done yet. Personal terms are agreed. Personal terms are done, right? There has not been a fee. There's been no official bid. Real Madrid are in a hurry to sell the player because they are also aware the longer it takes, the cheaper he'll become. And Manchester United are viewing it that if they just wait a little while, they can get him cheaper. It's very unlike the Sancho bid. They're not. Sancho was like 120 mil. United will put the money on the table. They're just trying to get a bit of a deal. But that is on that. Now, the last bit to talk about, and I said this is a fairly sensitive subject, so we need to approach this. We need to approach this in the correct way. So, firstly, we'll not be naming any. You may have your ideas or your thoughts about what we've heard over the last few days, last week so far, around a player. we're not going to be commenting who we think it is. That would be absolutely wrong to do so. What we're going to be talking is about the start that Rafa is having at Everton and the sort of the difficulties. But yeah, that is what we're going to do. It is known who it is. It may well be, but we will be making no comment. It's not fair, not true, not right to do so. Also, really bad. The Rafa was threatened. Absolutely agree with that. It was horrific. But what has been said, this is all from The Athletic. It was reported by the country's press. They didn't put a name on it. No, the name has come from social media. No media outlet has put the name, right? You can assume, and I mean, if you want to crack on, but the media have not posted the name. The police have not given a name, and Everton have not given a name. You can put 2 and 2 together. We know it's a 31-year-old from within Everton. Right? We know that. Go do a Google search of 31-year-olds in Everton and go get the information for yourself. This should have been, so this is all from The Athletic. So this should have been a week Everton took a significant step into their new era. As a new manager, Rafael Benitez finalised a clutch of signings, and the squad jetted off for their high-profile participation in a US pre-season tournament. There was a sense, after an uncertain month or two, of forward momentum. But then events off the pitch dragged the club into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Everton announced on Tuesday morning that a first-team player had been suspended pending a police investigation. And the fallout is a risk of overshadowing everything. 2 senior players were absent from the Everton flight. One has hired private security since his suspension and cannot be named for legal reasons. Another, Fabian Delph, will miss the trip as what Everton say is a precautionary measure after coming into contact with someone who has since tested positive for COVID-19. Since news broke of Everton's decisive action on Tuesday morning, Delph has faced prolonged speculation on social media that he is the player who has been suspended. A post on his Instagram profile on Tuesday, in the first 3 months, the first in 3 months, felt telling. Working hard in pre-season, read the caption. Another photograph added to his Instagram story showed the former Man City and England player chatting to defender Ben Godfrey during training session. Many of his other teammates have since liked that post. The Athletic understands the player is furious over the situation he was placed in by the club's statement. Now, we have to make it very clear, right? I'm sure we all know, I can have a guess now, considering I think there's only 2 31-year-olds in the Everton team, right? Fabian Delph has not been suspended. He is not on the flight for precautionary measure because he came into contact with someone since came into contact with, COVID-19 or someone with COVID-19. So, basically, Rafa has got a very difficult fucking job. Now, not only has a senior, we'll call it senior player, been suspended pending quite a serious, very serious, a very serious investigation. That is going to have caused Rafa quite a bit of problems. It also causes a problem because that senior player played a lot for them. They probably do need to now go out and get a replacement. Definitely don't see him starting the season, do you? So with all of these issues, Rafa's tenure at Everton has already got off to a really bad start. Now, there is questions if the pre-season tournament is safe to go ahead with all these sort of COVID outbreaks. That is going to be one issue. Issue number 2, obviously, is going to be a suspended senior player pending a police investigation. It is crazy with everything going on. Rafa's got a very difficult job. Also, the players they brought in, Asmir Begovic, Andros Townsend, Andre Gray, they're not really high-profile players. And I think Everton fans are slowly starting to get a little bit concerned, a little bit nervous. That is completely normal. But that is on Everton. There is a lot to go on there. Some comments here. Oh dear. Player is 31-year-old Icelandic attacking the field. That's all I know. Yeah. Look, we're not going to be talking about that. Rafa called Everton a small club. When did he do that? No, I think with the investigation that's being had, it's very, very, very mad. But yeah, I'm not gonna put any comments up that are, adding to the speculation, because we do not know. We do not simply know what is going on. So it's best that we don't really talk about it much further. I just want to put that out there. Fabian Delph has not been suspended, guys. I'm just saying that. And he shouldn't have got targeted for any abuse anyway. Shouldn't be abusing anyone full stop. You should let the authorities deal with it. So what, I've put the link in the chat for anyone to come on and have their say for the last 15 or so minutes. We're going to be talking Pedro Neto. You can talk to me about Pedro Neto. Talk to me about Declan Rice, Aaron Ramsdale, or Raphael Varane. I will ask people not to approach the Everton subject unless you're talking about new signings. Andre Gray, Andros Townsend, or Asmir Begovic. So if you're talking about one of them, absolutely fine. If you want to talk about speculation about other shit, please don't. But we are joined by Chris. Chris, how are we doing, mate?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good. Just trying to keep cool, which is very difficult in this weather. But what do you want to talk about?
I'm not going to talk about the Everton, what's happening with Everton at the moment, because I've already gave my opinions on that. So I'm just going to keep away from that.
Yeah.
Just talk about the other stories, like transfer related. Yeah. So
yeah, of course.
I just want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll
talk to me about Neto.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, talk to me about Neto.
I seen some Liverpool fans saying it makes zero sense signing when he's injured, but I just said in the comments, teams have signed players before when they've currently had an injury or recovering from an injury, come back in September, October time. So I'll take him. I'll take him at Liverpool. I think he's much better than relying on cat food, Harvey Elliott. Because that's what Harvey Elliott is. It's like relying on a 12-year-old playing for pretty Liverpool. I mean, I'm not disrespecting Harvey Elliott, but he needs to prove he's probably proven on your Premier League club. Neto is better quality. He is better quality, better depth for the front three as well. Because he can play either side in the wing or even possibly up front at times. That's what our front three needs. We need better depth on the bench. It's been one of our weaknesses.
Yeah.
We may have one of the best starting Evans in the Premier League, but the bench, I don't even.
It's shambles. It's a shambles.
It's not even top 4 quality. The bench, is it?
No, nowhere near. Nowhere near. I actually put United to have better depth than Liverpool, and I shouldn't be saying shit like that. I mean, United have less players injured, to play bluntly.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I do agree with you. I think Neto would add a lot Do you not think that Neto would want to play a lot of games, which is why he might not choose Liverpool? Because I mean, unless you move Salah to centre, I mean, which has been spoken about a lot. I mean, Firmino offers you what going forward? Nothing. So it's not conceivable to have a revamped Liverpool attack with Jota on the left, Neto on the right, with Salah up front.
It would be sensible for Neto to probably move to Tottenham more than Rafa, because he'll get more games. He is guaranteed games at Tottenham, in my opinion.
Yeah, because young players, they need game time. We always talk about it, don't we? Young players need game time to improve. They do. It's a simple fact.
It really depends. It really depends what Neto wants. Where you demands Champions League football, or does he just want games? If you want them to go to Tottenham,
I think for a young player, it's game time is so crucial to everything. What's the chances of Liverpool getting Neto? I mean, it is a huge offer or huge transfer fee that is going to be needed.
Well, when we signed Jota, it just came out as a surprise because we did compete the sign of Thiago the day before that. Jota. I think it's going to be a surprise sign for Liverpool with them. They will sign someone from out of nowhere who we're not being linked with. But
so that means you won't. That means you won't be getting Neto then.
Yeah, if it could do because he's always been. Yeah, he's always linked. But I'll probably give it 30% so far at the moment for Neto.
Yeah, I hear that. Talk to me about Ramsdale. Do you think he'd do well at Arsenal? Do you think that'll be the right move for him?
And then it depends what's happening with Yano. I'm sure Yano's still at Arsenal.
He is at the moment.
Yeah. The thing is, would Ramsdale want to be back up? I think he will want to. He will want to start. Trust me.
It depends on if Ramsdale's confident enough that he can boot Leno to a bench, which with Leno's performances last season, it's not completely out of the realms of possibility.
I think he's a good quality keeper. Ramsdale. People judge too much on because he's been relegated with Bournemouth and Sheffield United, where he's been key performers for both clubs, and. I think he would. I could see him at Arsenal. I think Yano does want to leave. Well, I know that was Monster where he said that about Champions League football or that talk. But he's a good quality keeper, Ramsdale, and I think he could be better than Yano. I think he is better than Yano.
No, I agree with you completely. I do see him as a very good goalkeeper, and a goalkeeper that offers you a lot. I think he's young, he's hungry, very hungry to do well. These are all things you need in a goalkeeper. So I do see it being somewhat the perfect fit. We'll definitely have to see. Have to see.
What baffles me, how the hell have Arsenal got all this money from? 50 million for Ben White, 30 million for Ramsdale. We got these Madison Yents done all over Twitter at the moment, and he's on a downgrade in my opinion. I think it's nonsense.
To be fair, we just got Smith Rowe signing a new deal. Why is he signing a new deal if you're getting Madison? Right, let's be real.
And James Madison has sensible standards as well. Doesn't want to be part of a freak of nature.
Apparently, he's got a really bad attitude. So attitude normally works. Normally works to Arsenal.
He can follow Mesut Ozil footsteps and pay fortnight in his football career. While he's getting paid £300 a week, or it could have been more.
Oh, and Smith Rowe's got number 10 shares, so you definitely not. They're not getting Madison. They're not getting Madison. Nonsensical. But we are going to wrap it up there. We'll be back tonight at 10 p.m. with another episode, Transfer Talk. There's basically just Transfer Talks for the rest of the week now. But yeah, before you go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Check out our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ and on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. Chris, where can they find you, mate?
Got only deaths on here today. You can find me on YouTube at Chris Wells, and find me on Twitter. I'm back on Twitter, Chris Wells 1999.
Perfect. Big up now, Chris, Zach, Dylan, Mustafa, and everyone else. Absolutely. Gio Reyna got the number 7 champ for Dortmund. Yeah. Oh, Sancho's number 1, isn't it? He's definitely gone then.
Yeah.
He's definitely gone then. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching and peace out.